Welcome back. Here we arrived at the fortress in the previous part. I'm so excited because it's coming. It's coming. Gotta follow the lines, follow the arrows, make sure we're going the right way. Yes. Still doing the rounds. Today's military exercise is a big one. They're pulling out all the stops today. The guys who are actually participating already left a while ago, though. Why? Oh, to get ready, of course. Hey, you must be those students from the Military Academy. So what do you think of the fortress? Interested in working here after you graduate? I admit, the food's pretty awful, but other than that, it's not a bad place to work. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a lovely place to work at in the future. Might get a bit airy, though. A bit airy. Just a little bit. Oh, you're taking a rest, Emma. I did take a short walk around, but everything about this fortress is so imposing. It made me feel a little faint. I feel you there. Looking at Emma now, it's hard to believe she's the same person who almost single-handedly guided us through that castle. Reem? Nah, never mind. But there is one thing that's been bugging me lately. Ever since we arrived in Legram, I feel like just out of the corner of my eye, catch glimpses of this small black shadow following us. It's probably a floater in your eye. You know, you want to get that looked at maybe. But ever since we got to the fortress, I haven't seen it. Really? Maybe you were possessed by something. Possessed? Yikes, it's kind of an unsettling thought. It is, isn't it? Yeah, I'm glad I told her to go back when we reached Keldic. This fortress is so vast, I could see myself getting lost if I'm not careful. I'm glad I didn't bring her along. What is it? You know, I'm wondering, I'm asking this to the people who started with Sky and came through to the Cold Steel games. What were your thoughts on Emma at this point? Like, what did you think was going on with her? So I'm curious what your take would be on that situation. Hello, Sarah. Oh yeah, Tovel gave me a call about what happened in Legram. So you had a mechanical monster show up on... Yeah, I remember this conversation. So you had a mechanical monster show up outside the city limits. Yeah, Tovel looked pretty concerned when we first mentioned it to him too. Do you know anything about them? And I'm no stranger to the group that makes them. Yeah, I remember this conversation because it was the first time the Society was mentioned. I think. Yeah, they go by the name Ouroboros. I was like, what? They're a secret society of sorts that acts in the shadows all across the continent. A secret society? We don't know how many members there are, or what they're capable of. Honestly, we don't know much about them at all. What we do know is that they have access to technology more advanced than the most cutting-edge research institutes. And that they've been behind several crises, depending how you want to say it, that have threatened to shake the foundations of entire nation-states. And these are the people who made those monsters? I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. I'd find it hard to swallow, but there's no denying what we saw out there. Well, you don't need to come to grips with it just yet. We call the mechanical monsters, like the one you guys fought, archaisms. And lately it seems like an awful lot of them have made their way onto the black market. It's been one sighting after another these days, all over the Empire and beyond. Wow, that's heavy. And does that mean there's a chance they might be plotting something here in Erebonia? Just in your opinion, I mean. Well, that's the tricky thing about them. Doesn't necessarily mean that at all. There have been cases where we know they put archaisms out into the wild, purely to test their abilities, for example. Still, it's something to keep in the back of your mind, at least. Oh, I do constantly these days. Right, I'll be sure to let the others know too. Honestly, as if we don't have enough to worry about with terrorists out there, and the two factions at each other's throats. She did just play innocent too, even if I tried to press her about it. Who do you mean, Claire? Just talking to myself. Anyway, you just focus on your field study right now. between this fortress and the training exercise you'll be observing this afternoon, you'll have a front row seat to see what the military is all about. And a stud instructor. It's that sort of thing. It's like, our us are up to something, but it's more not here, not yet. Yeah. Close by. Very, very close by. The fortress is the eastern cornerstone of the Empire in both size and strategic importance. In addition to all the guardsmen assigned to the fortress, the 5th Armored Division is stationed here as well. If you go by the sheer number of soldiers, the fortress is easily the Empire's largest military base. Having that kind of power on display here will make Calvert think twice before messing with us. It's gotta be fascinating. In two ways. Again, I love the experience I've had where it's like, this is the thing. This is what I love about this series, to be honest. Like, the fact we have these different experiences, because it's like, I have that experience of like, I didn't know what was going to come with this fortress. It's spoilers for later on, by the way. I didn't know what was going to come with this fortress. I had no clue, like, at this point when I was first going through, what is about to happen to this place. Yet the people who played the crossbow games did. So they must be like, what the hell? With this scenario right now, with wandering around. It's like, it's fascinating, because again, we can discuss those two viewpoints, and that's what's interesting. That's what I love. Welcome to the fortress. You and your classmates from Thors Military Academy have been granted permission to explore the fortress. As long as you don't stray outside the permitted area, you're free to go wherever you'd like. The corridor on the right leads to the right wing of the fortress. Left, you'll find... if he was going to say the left wing, I was going to be like, you what, mate? Left, you'll find the guest rooms and briefing room. The staircase over there leads to the command center, which you haven't been granted permission to go inside. That's just how it is, I'm afraid. Maybe they'll decide to show you around there later. Alright, so just the same again. I thought because you had a name you might be different, but no. Hey there! Take care of resupplying soldiers' personal equipment. I've got permission to sell to you, so if there's anything you need, just let me know. What do you have? Any new... Ooh, it depends, because there could be a new weapon to buy, people. Especially because it's sort of like... Again, I don't like to use them. I wanted to save it for... You know what? I'm going to hang on to these. Because I don't need the money right now. It's that sort of thing, like, if the money comes up as a situation where I need it resolved, fine. But it's like, right now, I'm fine. I don't need that. So it's sort of like, okay, so let's customize weapon. Oh, I've not got Titania. Is it because she's not in the group I've not got the Titania? That might be why. That might be why. So no 3s coming around here. Action 3s would be very nice, actually. Very nice, very nice. Mine 3 would be very nice as well. Let's see about that, because it is like... Yeah, action 3. I should get another... Because I was waiting for the chance to actually get one. Another attack 3. Did one come up? No, so we should get an attack 3 as well. Because that wasn't available as far as I know. Until now, so... Get another one just because... Because I did have an attack 3, and that's on Laura, obviously, you know. Alright, I think that's good. Okay. You too. I'd heard about the fortress from my father, but seeing it in person really drives home its incredible scale. Oh yeah, your father helps train the Imperial Army in swordsmanship, doesn't he? I can see why he's so busy. If he's going around training all the soldiers in places this massive. Indeed. Feel like the reality of that is finally sinking in for me as well. I have no idea how his teachings are actually being applied, though. Perhaps we'll have the opportunity to find out during today's military training exercise. I'm looking forward to it. I expect some of the soldiers in this fortress have been trained by my father. Perhaps today's military exercise will give us a chance to see them put their training to use. These soldiers here seem pretty well trained. Pretty well equipped too, like you'd expect from the Empire's biggest fortress. You need to put in some serious prep time if you wanted to topple it. Me? I'm not sure that's something you should say within earshot of the soldiers. Old habits die hard. They do seem to be outfitted well, though. Wouldn't expect any less from the Imperial Army. Looks like we can get supplies over at the counter, too. Seems worth a look. I've already done that for you, don't you worry. So, there's people up there. Yeah, we'll go up the stairs first. So you're the students who have come to tour the fortress? Yes, sir. He's wearing an officer's uniform. I wonder if he is... This is Lieutenant General Walter, commander of the fortress. He also serves as the division commander for the 5th Armored Division, which is stationed here. I apologize for not greeting you sooner, sir. Thank you for granting us the opportunity to tour the fortress. It really is an honor. Well, at least you aren't lacking in manners. Hardly built like a soldier, though. He's a child, essentially. He's not going to be built, really, yet. Takes years. I have my doubts that you'd be able to endure the military's training regimen with a physique like that. He's a child. You sure you're training them properly, Major? My apologies, sir. Though I hear the Academy has a former bracer as their combat instructor. They must really be scraping bottom. I've heard of the Purple Lightning before, of course, but a bracer is still a bracer. Leaving such an important role in the hands of a civilian is ridiculous. The famous Thors isn't what it used to be. Well, no surprise here. Looks like he fills in every box of the checklist for stereotypical Imperial Army soldier. Anyway, as Fortress Commander, allow me to welcome you to the Fortress. Keep in mind, though, that we're constantly on alert for potential threats from the east. Try look closer. Closer, I'd say. I have no problem with your class conducting your field study here, but see that you don't get in the way. Of course, sir. Very well. I'll take my leave here, as I have business to attend to. Phew. He's certainly strict. He's a dick. I mean, well, he is responsible for keeping one of the Empire's most vital defensive fortifications running smoothly. Considering the ongoing tensions between the Empire and the Republic, you should be grateful he allowed you to come at all. I won't forget it. Now, I'm afraid I must excuse myself as well. I'm going to keep an eye on future when we get back to the Crossbell. Games? I say games. Like, there's one left. When we get to Azure. Very much going to keep an eye on, see if he pops up. You're welcome to tour the rest of the fortress, but don't try to enter the command center. Of course. Good luck with your work, instructor. I'll see you later, then. I'm so excited to be here, because it's like... Because I know Crossbell now, because I've been there, it's that double experience I've got, where it's like, I had no concept of, like, Crossbell and what it was. And that's informed how I feel now, and it's so... almost jubilation? I don't know how to describe it. You haven't been granted permission to enter the command center. Like I said, it's constantly throughout this game, I've been giggling inside my mind, because, you know, you don't want constant giggling throughout the entire thing. Just to be playing it again, because it's like, everything is just more vast, and it's revisiting something I know, and it's different. It still feels like a brand new game to me, which is the fact it can do that, especially because I didn't like it, remember. That's fantastic. Anyway, you haven't been granted permission to enter the command center. I'll need to ask you to leave. I don't know why I spoke to him again. Lieutenant General Walter and Major Neidhart's voices can be heard coming from within the room. You seem really busy. Maybe I should look somewhere else. Because again, it's like, I saw this base from the other side now. I saw it from the Crossbell side, and it's just fascinating. I don't know how to properly explain the emotions about this. There are no words, really. It's just... I love that aspect. Again, this is why I want to discuss the different points of views on it, because it's like, that's fun! You've only been granted permission to explore certain parts of the left wing. Everywhere else is off limits. If it's any consolation, there's not much worth seeing in the right wing. To be honest, it's mostly just storage rooms. For what, though? It's locked. There's no way to explore past here. Ah, it was worth a try, wasn't it? Worth a try. I doubt we'll be going that way anyway. You say that like it's a secret. We all know. It was the start of the game. It's literally the start of the game. Where do I go now, then? Isn't it the motor pool? We'll try it from this angle. So I'm sure there was another way to go. Yeah, it's all the way out here, isn't it? The freight platform. Yeah, Let's go to the freight platform. Telephone. Oh, here's container 32A. 32? Jeez, why can't they ever deliver these things on time? 32. You thought it wouldn't happen, but it did. I've been waiting. The train schedules have all been changed up while the trade conference is going on. It's supposed to be a special security measure. But really, all it's done is put us on edge. Guess you're a visitor. Try not to wander anywhere that's off limits. Things are pretty crazy right now. Hate a soldier here who wouldn't leap at the chance for a full night's rest. You know what's sorry, I keep rambling on, but you know, I've got to share my thoughts. That's the entire point of a Let's Play, really, isn't it? It's just, I love the fact like I've got, again, a slightly different, unique experience that many wouldn't have. That aspect of like, okay, I've done the crossbow. Oh no, we'll start properly. I've done the Cold Steel games up to 3, and including 3. I've done the Sky games, and I've done the first crossbow game, and we're back here. So I've got that aspect of like, I know everything that's coming within certain time frames. But I don't know what's happening in crossbow right now, but I understand the things that have led to what I see is randomly happening from the perspective of the people here. It's like the trade conference is happening. I know the players. I know the people. I know the outcome. But I so want to know. I want to know, and I cannot wait for the Geofront patch because it's all happening over there, and I just want to play it at this point. Like, screw Cold Steel 4 at this point. That's not what I care about right now. It's like, I want to know Azure. Because I've been waiting for the crossbow stuff, and it's only made it better. Again, my opinion is of this series, play the games at least twice. It's just, sorry. Huh. Where'd this container come from? I don't remember anyone ordering it. Yes, keep an eye on it. Shouldn't you, like, this is a military base, shouldn't you check it? Past noon already. No wonder I'm starving. Military exercises are really upped our workload. I just want to get this over with and grab a bite to eat. Did I speak to the military guy? Did I speak to you? I'm sure a visitor try not to wander anywhere that's off limits. It's pretty crazy right now as I told you. A chance for full night's rest. I think I did, didn't I? Yeah. It's because I started rambling. I've lost sense of where I am in terms of like rounds and stuff. It's this thing. Some people enjoy that rambling. Some people won't because they're weird like that. But most people enjoy that rambling because it's like, you'll know what I'm going on about. Wow. Especially if you were there for the first Let's Play. You'll appreciate my experience right now. It's such a difference. Helps being rid of them. I love the train. Look at the train. I saw either that one or one of those ones in Crossbell. Oh! Can't believe the size of this place. Oh, given that uniform, you must be one of the students from Thors. Feel free to look around all you like, but try to stay out of our way. We're all incredibly busy at the moment. So if you don't mind, I'd ask you to make your way to the corridor over there instead of hanging around here. Understood. Thank you very much. Might as well head over there. Well, it is good of him. See, now I've got different aspects of everything going on. It's just that case of like, we see this place from a different angle later. in Cold Steel 2, we come here again and it's very different. And it's just that sort of like, looking at it now, it's like, yeah. I love playing these games again. Oh, one of those students from Thors, aren't you? Don't wander off on your own or anything. Security's on high alert because of the trade conference. We're working some pretty rough shifts already, so we don't need you causing us any extra trouble. Ah, that's understandable, that's understandable. Gaius, are you okay? Just kind of shocked by how different the atmosphere here is from Zenda Gate. Well, it is a major military base right on the border of Crossbell. Never imagined it'd be quite this big, though. This place is such a departure from Zenda Gate that I can hardly believe that this is the same military. Though perhaps this is the true face of the Imperial Army. Yeah, we're gonna wipe that smile off the face. Sorry, that's the Crossbell in me speaking. This fortress is a massive departure from the image I had of the military up until now. It's a reality I can accept, but one that I pray Nord will never have to face. Well, so do I, so do I. There's his back of his head. This fortress is the very definition of oversized. And that's ignoring the excessive display of military power. Imagine the posturing is meant to show the Kreutzen Provincial Army that they could crush them on a whim. I forget what this place probably means to you and your family. I suppose. While I don't agree with my father's actions, can't say I'm comfortable with this fortress's presence either. In fact, I find it hard to believe that anyone could sleep peacefully near a fortress like this. If the soldiers and the weaponry weren't enough, the railway guns trained on Crossbell don't bode well either. Especially when you realize that the Blood and Iron Chancellor himself chose where to point them. An excuse to flaunt his power. Yeah, it's very much overcompensating, isn't it? What's with that kid? I knew he'd be getting visitors from Thors, but they're older than that, right? How'd she even get in there? Very, very odd method she got in there. Very odd. I guess you can't see it from here after all. Be able to see it from where the railway guns are, but they'll get mad if I get too close to them. What are you up to now, Milliam? You know that huge Orcus tower where they're holding the trade conference? I'm trying to get a good view at that. Oh yeah, they mentioned it in the Imperial Chronicle and on the radio. It's just the fact like I tried to do that on the roof. Can you actually see it from all the way over there or here? That'd be incredible. Would I ever lie to you? Yep. I wish I could have gone with Gramps instead of being stuck on some stupid field study. Why'd you join Class 7 then? Speaking of which, they're going to be holding the keynote session there tomorrow. I wonder what they'll be talking about during it. Most people think it's just so they can decide on finance rules and stuff for Western Zemuria. But I think it's really going to end up being about who Crossbell belongs to. How do you know that, Millie? Knowing Gramps, you might even try to get Crossbell to become a part of the Empire. Like that would happen. Seriously? The prince is going to be there too, so I'll probably just try to shake everybody up a bit. Unbelievable. Toa's there too, though. She is hoping things go well. Yeah, it is that sense of, again, like knowing Crossbell, knowing Cold Steel, knowing Toa. If I played them in order and everything like that, and knowing all the things in the right order with the release and all that sort of stuff, I'd very much, again, be very concerned for Toa right now, because, okay, I know she'll be fine, but you wouldn't on your first time through, would you? You just wouldn't. You'd be very concerned. Oh man, I wanted to go to Crossbell too. They got a theme park there and everything. Gramps and Lecter are so lucky. Right, so that's it for everyone, isn't it? I think we checked everywhere, done everything. So I think it's a case of like return to our room sort of thing. This bulletin is to inform all Thors students that preparations for today's military exercise are now complete. Please assemble in the hangar immediately. Your transport is standing by. I repeat, That's Instructor Neidhart. The time must have passed more quickly than I thought. Suppose I should start making my way toward the hangar. Maybe I'll run into the others on my way. We boarded the armored cars and set off toward the proving grounds. The inside of the armored cars was narrow and cramped, and the smell of machine oil hung in the musty air. The cars shook and rattled over the uneven ground, tumbling us around like an iron coffin on wheels. Eventually, after enduring 10 minutes of jaw-rattling travel, unable to even peek outside at the scenery, we finally arrived at the fortress's military proving grounds. Just think though, it took 10 minutes to get here, and the fortress still looks huge on the horizon. Wow, Act Zen main battle tanks. There are plenty of older model tanks out there too. It even looks like they have airships here. Oh yeah, like the ones we saw in Nord. Welcome! Oh, there he is! There he is! I love him so much. So that's Elliot's dad. I don't see the family resemblance. What? Looks like the hair made the jump from father to son, though. Reporting, Lieutenant General. Very good, Neidhart. And Instructor Valestine, I believe. Pleased to meet you. It's an honor to make your acquaintance, Lieutenant General Craig. Allow me to extend my deepest thanks for agreeing to cooperate with us for the Academy's curriculum today. Think nothing of it. Many of these fine youngsters may one day hold positions in the Imperial Army, after all. Besides, I owe a lot to General Van Dyke. And these must be... What a piercing stare. So this is Craig the Red. Elliot, my boy! It's so good to see you again. Huh? It must be half a year now since I last saw you. How have you been? There's a sharp-looking uniform you've got too. I've seen the photos, but it looks even better on you in person. Dad, come on. You've still got a long way to go if you want to put on some real muscle. There's a part of me that hopes you'll stay my little cherub forever. But you're a man of Erebonia, and the men of the Empire must be strong, stout, and ready for action. It was for your own good as a man that I held back my tears and enrolled you in the military academy. Dad, I can't breathe. I feel like everything I've been told about him was a lie. There do seem to be some differences from the stories. You're kidding me. Seems like a cool guy. What a delightful commanding officer you have, Major. Words fail me. Dad, knock it off. I'll tell Fiona. How quick he got off. Moving right along. I love him. I love it. It's like how much he loves his son. It's so nice to see. I'm Lieutenant General Olaf Craig, Commander of the Imperial Army's 4th Armored Division. I've been entrusted with the role of overseeing today's joint military exercise. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Likewise, sir. It's a pleasure, sir. You've got one heck of a dad, Ellie. Yeah. Believe me, I feel it in the bones. Now, let me give you a brief rundown of what will be happening. This exercise will consist of a simulated battle conducted by 2 of our armored divisions. Armored regiments at the formation center, infantry, armored cars, and airships will work in tandem, using their maneuverability to the fullest to obliterate the targets. As our targets today will be using previous model tanks that have been decommissioned from the service. Autopilot functionality will allow them to evade and return fire, but they've only been armed with paint bullets. However, all other regiments taking part in today's exercise have been equipped with live ammunition. So you intend to actually destroy the other tanks? It would hardly be a live fire exercise if we didn't. The current time is 1400 hours, right on schedule. We'll now begin today's joint military exercise. Armor Divisions 4 and 5 commence combat operations. Glory to the Empire and the Imperial Army. Begin. Yes, sir. 5th Armored Division. Armored Regiment will advance first. Armored Car Regiment and Infantry Regiment follow their lead. 4th Armored Division. Armored Regiment and Infantry Regiment advance together. Armored Car Regiment deploy to the left and right. Wow. Certainly potent. So this is the kind of firepower it takes to fight a modern war. You said those tanks are called Akzens? Yeah, they're a type of main battle tank the Rifle Company developed 2 years ago. I've seen their spec sheets, but seeing their power firsthand tells you what numbers and decimal points don't. They might be the strongest heavy tanks on the continent. And the Imperial Army's got a couple hundred of those in the wings, huh? That's kind of crazy. You try fighting things like these head-on, you won't stand a chance. That's as true for our own nation as it is for others. I just can't get used to this. Just the sound of the artillery firing is enough to make me start shaking. Don't think that's something you should get used to. I mean, the sound of guns and warfare ever stop bothering you? I'd be worried. I mean, guess this is another kind of strength. Don't recall his heart doing weird stuff at that point. Interesting. Name of the game, everyone.